What's up YouTube? This is Solo Black here, and I've got a match against a girl, and that's all you need to know. Anyway, she lives with a Hydreigon, I lead with my Latios, and I'm fast because I'm kind of choice scarf, so that means I'm going to be able to go first and take her out with a Draco Meteor, so that is nice and sexy. And she goes down. Now she's going to go into her Gallade, which is... yeah, you know, Gallade is a very good Pokemon. Anyway, I'm predicting a Shadow Sneak, so I'll go into my Mr. T, which is my Tyranitar, and she sets up the ice cream, so now I kind of see that she might be some kind of dual speed set. So I'm predicting the Focus Punch. I go back into my... I haven't thought that yet. I go into my Landorus to take the Drain Punch, which she does very well. And judging by her team, I know she's going to switch up to try and dodge an Earthquake. And yeah, you go for the U-turn because it's a good move. And she goes into Cresselia, which is awesome, which means I get a good amount of damage, 3 damage, and I go straight back into my Tyranitar. And on that turn, I see that she has the Burn Up, which means I know exactly what kind of set this is because I've used it myself. This is a Psycho Shifting Crest, which pretty much works on burning yourself and then shifting it onto your opponent. And it's also carrying the moves such as Rest and Sleep Talk. And since you're sleeping, if you get a Rest and a Sleep Talk, that means you could also pass over a Sleep without even trying to break Sleepers deliberately. So it's a very underhanded moveset there, but it works very well. But you know, the luckier you are with that set, it can just totally obliterate you. Anyway, I go into my Latios on the crest. I know she's predicting a trick, which is why she's switching into Infinite, because it's most likely banded. But I bluff that and I just go for a random Draco Meteor and it hits the Infinite and one-shots it, so that's great. Now predicting the Shadow Sneak again, I go back into my Nidoqueen, but she also makes a great prediction and switches out into her Swampert. I am physically bulky with max HP, so I'm not too worried about what Swampert might throw at me. I go for my layers of Toxic Spikes, got 2 now, and she goes for an Earthquake and then proceeds to roar me. And I go into my Conkeldurr, which is, you know, it's alright. Now, I know she's going to probably set Self Rocks right now, and I take the opportunity to go for my Bulk Up because I can. I probably should have not done that, but you know, I was very sure she wasn't going to go for a Roar straight off, so that's why I threw it anyway. Now, I go for the Drain Punch just to get off a little bit of damage, and it does half, so that's, you know, it's probably special defensive. Anyway, she roars me now, goes into my Tyranitar, which is okay. I don't really mind because my Tyranitar can still take any move that something might take. So I'll go for the Crunch. It still does a lot of damage, even though I'm burnt, and I get the defense drop, which is great. She tries to predict my switch into Latios by going for the Ice Beam, but nope, that's not going to do very much because of the Sandstorm. I just boosted my special defense. So with that defense drop, he's going to run the switch out and go into his Gallade. I'm going to go for the second Crunch, and that is going to do half. So that is, you know, even for a burnt Tyranitar with max attack, that's still doing a lot of damage. So yeah, I'm now going to go into my Landorus because I know I don't want to take a Drain Punch to the face and him getting all his HP, but she goes for the Reflect, so now I see that it is actually a dual screener. And predicting the switch again, probably into a Pokemon that can dodge Earthquake, I just go for the U-turn because going for the Earthquake would be very risky because she has 2 Pokemon that can take an Earthquake. So I U-turn out, go into my Latios, and yeah, I'm in a very good position. I could either go for a Draco Meteor or I can go for an Ice Beam, but I decided to go for the same Ice Beam because it is 4 times super effective and it's more accuracy. But she just decides to go into her Gallade as Death Fodder. So now with she goes into her crest, I can't do anything to her, so I'm gonna switch out and go into my Tyranitar. But she makes an awesome play and goes back into her Glass Skull, predicting that. So I'm like, damn girl, she has got some mad skills. Anyway, she now goes for the Roost just to get some HP. I'm not really sure why. I just go for the Crunch because I can't be asked to switch out and I want to leave it in as Death Fodder because it is pretty useless. So now I go for the Focus Punch after the Reflect goes off. She randomly goes for the Thunder Fang. I'm not really sure what she was predicting, but you know, anyway, she's going to want to switch out now because she's probably predicting my second random Focus Punch, but no, I just go straight for the Crunch, and that's going to get good amount of damage, about 1/4. So, you know, she just ended up losing a bit of crest health for nothing when she could have just knocked me out with a second Thunder Fang or whatever. Anyway, now I'm going to my Magnezone because, you know, Magnezone can pretty much sit in there all day long and mess around this Cresselia because I had to substitute. And yeah, she can't do anything, she can't shift me because the sub will block it, and she is forced to stretch out and go into her Glasgow. And judging by the fact that I missed the Clash Cannon, she is a Sandvale kind, So you know, I go for my second flash cannon. It hits this time. I would have HP Ice, but if you can tell by my nickname, no Nat 4, I actually have Hidden Power Fire, which is for Ferrothorn and Fortress and Skarmory. So that is why I don't have I use flash cannon there. Now I switch out because I know the Earthquake is coming again, going to my Latios and go for the Ice Beam. She has the Yashi Berry, but at that health, Gastro isn't going to be living any Ice Beams. So yeah, I'm going to go for a second Ice Beam, hopefully to try and take it out, but she lives on the barest HP possible. And she gets a random freeze of her own Ice Beam, but it doesn't matter because the Sandstorm will take me out. And if I got one layer of Toxic Spikes there, that Swampert would have been dead by now, but because of 2 layers, you know, the first layer would, the first poison damage would do half and then normal, and then it will keep increasing after that. I just go into my Landorus to go for the U-turn, and that's a God Swampert. Now she only has one Pokemon left, which is her Cresselia, and she has to go into it right now, and I go into my Magazine. Now here was the dumbest play. She goes to the rest, and I didn't go for the substitute. I randomly go for the Thunderbolt because I wanted to finish this game off quickly, when I should have just gone for the sub, because that is now going to cost me, well, it won't cost me, but it's going to make the match a lot longer. As you can see here, she actually gets the Psycho Shift on the last sleep turn, and that is going to shift me the sleep. No. So yeah, I end up falling asleep, which is like crap. I could have ended this match so much earlier, but no, I just made it longer for myself. So right now she's gonna go for the rest again after she gets a burn up. She's gonna get all that damage up, and I'm just gonna try and burn off my turns of sleep, hopefully to wake up. And hopefully if I do, then I'll be able to get up that sub, which I should have done a long time ago, and then be able to finish it off. So we're just both sleeping right now, and Sandstorm's buffeting her. Finally I wake up, and I go for the substitute. So yeah, this is pretty much a good game here. All I have to do is keep going for the Thunderbolt. She reveals her last move, which is a Solar Beam, which is quite random. I'm not sure why you use Solar Beam on a Cresselia. You know, it baffles me. I mean, if it was Psychic or Ice Beam, then yeah, fine. But Solar Beam, what's it gonna hit? Anyway, she goes for the Solar Beam. It won't break my sub because Cresselia has no attack, special attack, and Solar Beam is halved in Sandstorm if I'm correct, so it will be 60 damage instead of 120.
So yeah, Solar Beam isn't going to be doing anything. And after this turn, she told me that whether she should be a fag and go for rest again, but she knows that this match isn't going to be, this is the only make the match longer, so there was no point. So that was pretty much game right there. So yeah, comment, like, subscribe, all that jazz. I'm out. Peace.